Hello and very good morning, friends. In this video series, we are going to discuss some of the very important topics that are relevant for the UPSC mains, and we will draw linkages to the current affairs with the static portion of UPSC mains syllabus, and we will analyze how the question will come in UPSC mains and how to write a good answer, a good structure to that answer, and we will discuss only we will discuss the perspective of that, and also to how to write an answer, and about we know that in the answer of UPSC we know that hardly we have to write more than 250 words, and so we will limit our discussion to the we will have a comprehensive look on that, but we will write only those things which cannot be more than 250 words, because at most we have to write at most we have to write 250 words in the exam, and if we left the essay paper, in that essay paper we have to write 1200 approximately 1000 to 1200 words, and in the rest of year's portion we have to write only more approximately 250 words maximum, that question belongs to 50 marks. So looking into just briefing about all this thing, now let's start our topic. And today our topic is UNSC reform. UNSC stands for United Nations Security Council, and this topic is very relevant for the exam, because because our Prime Minister has said that we have to reform United Nations Security Council, and just so. Now, if you have tried the introduction of on this topic, first of all, we have to understand on how the question can be asked. The question can be asked in the essay also. Question can be asked on essay and also with the GS paper second, in which we have to draw the linkages of in GS paper 2. We know that this can be linked to the international organization. The national organization, we can link this to this topic. Now, yes. Now, if you look at the introduction, so what we can say that India has been given the non-permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council for the 2021 to 2022 for 2 years, and because of that non-permanent seat in the UNSC, the Prime Minister has said that now it is time. The time has arrived that we have reformed this Security Council, and so what is the aim of this organization? This organization was created because to promote the international peace and security. See, international peace and security is very much relevant and very important, because if you look at the world has they must have an organization that must look at the overall security and the development and peace perspective, because until and unless peace is there, development can't be achieved. So as we know that for development to happen, there must always be peace. Okay, so this was the aim of this organization, United Nations Security Council. And let me tell friend, United Nations Security Council is the very important part. Rather, it has the whole power. We know that United Nations has 6 principal organizations. The first one is United Nations General Assembly. That is, if you can write, you can write. The first one is UNGA, United Nations General Assembly. Second one is United Nations Security Council. Third one is ECOSOC, Economic and Social Corporation. I think the full form is right. Then fourth one is ICJ, International Court of Justice, and fifth one is Trusteeship Council, which is no longer exist, because this Trusteeship Council was created because when the World War ended, and when the World War ended, then there were many countries which were not able to have their have permanent how to rule the nation. They do not know. For that purpose, this council was created, Trusteeship Council, so that it can manage the affairs of that country. And sixth one is sorry, I forgot this. So we can see that this is United Nations Security Council is one of the 6 principal organs of United Nations. Okay. And if you look at the composition of United Nations Security Council, we find that the composition consists of 15 members. Out of 15 members of this UNSC, we have 10 non-permanent members and 5 permanent members. The 5 permanent members consist of ABCFR. Means I have wrote the short form of this. Let me erase this so that I can explain it better. So the five permanent members consist of America, Britain, China, France, and Russia. These are the 5 permanent members, and the 10 non-permanent members are distributed in the whole world. And if you look at the composition of this, you will be very much shocked. I know, because of this 10 non-permanent members, the 5 cities are given to Asia and Africa. Asia has such a huge population, and only 5 seats are given, and that to be distributed between the Asia and Africa. If you look at the world map of Africa and Asia, it consists of almost half of the world, and the rest five seats are distributed to the given to one to Eastern Europe, two to Latin America, and two to Caribbean island. I think so. And second to one belong to, yes, Western Europe, and two belongs to Western Europe. So if you look at the composition, there is an inherent biases against these developing nations, because these developing nations has consist of 5 non-permanent members, and the developing country of Asia and Africa are given totally 5 seats. That is the reason these developing countries like India are demanding to have new reforms, because it is not this council is not representing the whole world. And the council which has a sole purpose of peace and security, that should have a comprehensive and democratic values, democratic setup. Okay, so if you look at the body of an answer that we have to write in the mains, the body consists of two parts. The first part is what is the function of university. Second part is what is the issues. This is very much important, because UPSC loves to ask what are the issues related to that, and how can we resolve that issue, and what are its impact on India. These are some of the very much relevant questions that is being asked by the UPSC. And we also have to write a political diagram. So in the body part, we find that the function of this UNSC, United Nations Security Council, is to resolve a dispute that is occurring between the member nations. And as already we have discussed, the first one is that it has to resolve a dispute. Second thing is that it has to maintain the international peace and security. That this is the whole motto of this organization, and so it works. It is also the main function of this organization. Third function is that it has to regulate the armament. Armament means what? The weapon. It has to regulate that some country does not have enough number of armaments. So because if more and more countries have more armaments, then how can you ensure peace and security? Because as we know that if you have gun, and if every country have more number of stockpiling of arms, then how can international peace and security be maintained? Because this can threaten the whole world. So this is where this organization can come into picture. The fourth thing is that it can have a military action against a nation. It can also take a military action against the aggressor nation, because suppose a country is there which is aggressive in nature, then it can also take a military action. And remember, before taking a military action, it has to pass by all the five powerful permanent countries. Now, next thing is that it can also take economic sanction. Economic sanction is one of the important functions that it can take. These are the largely 5-6 functions that this body performs. Now the most important thing that we have to discuss is its issues. So now, before going to issues, just forget one thing, that the ones at one point of time, the Secretary General United Nations, yes, the Secretary General of United Nations, Secretary General of United Nations said that United Nations was created not to take humanity into the heaven, but to save it from hell. This is a very important line that we can write in the essay. That this the whole function of this United Nations is not to take humanity into the heaven, but to prevent it from hell. Because if you look at the background in which this organization was formed, we find that in the 1945, when the World War Second ends, then this body, United Nations, comes into picture because everyone thought that every member nation and the whole world thought that now we cannot afford to have a third world war. For that purpose, if every country come together and have shared their values and everything, then we can prevent the third world war. Because if there is not a world war has impacted each and every nation, and the world war has severe impact on the humanity also. So this developed countries thought that, and everyone at that time thought that yes, we cannot afford to have a third world war because we have to ultimately move on a path of peace and development. Yes. Now the issue is that yes, now we can move on the issues. In 1992, in 1992, United Nations General Assembly, which is the one of the principal organ of United Nations General Assembly has passed a resolution that passed a resolution, and in that resolution they said that yes, we need to have a reform. This 1992 United Nations General Assembly has said that we have to reform this United Nations Security Council, and now presently when India has been a member of non-permanent, India has been given a chairmanship of non-permanent members, then India has also said that we have to have new reforms. Now, the first issue uh, uh, that why the first issue that why we should have a reform is that the realities. The geopolitics means that it has been made from two words: uh, geo plus politics. Geo means what? The geography. Geography means that the location of each and every country, and politics means that we know that what we mean by politics, how the development is going on. That is mean politics. So yes, the geopolitics reality of today has been changed because some country, for example, they are initially when it was formed, only 51 members were there, and now the politics of every country has changed. For example, some country which were not, which had just had got independent at that time. Now they are in the power. They have huge power. They are in the race of the economy is going very well. For example, Indian economy is growing very well, and Brazil, South Africa, and we can say that yes, Mexico. These countries which were earlier not very much powerful, Germany, Italy, which were not very much powerful at that time. Now the economy is being changing, and that is the reason they are demanding reform because they also want to have some seat, and they also want to have seat in the United Nations Security Council. Now, so this is the first one that geopolitics reality has been changed. Second thing is that the P5, as we discussed, the P5 nation that was born during the P5 chosen, the permanent five P5 means the permanent five members that were chosen at that time. They were belongs to World War Second, and at that time only 51 members were there. Now this reality has changed, so we have to reform it. Third thing is that the distribution of seats that as we have discussed in the initial part of the video, that how they have distributed the seats, how they have distributed seats. We know that there is inherent inequality because of this five seats. The five seat has been given to Asia and Africa completely, and some five seat and another five seat has been given to Eastern Europe and Latin America. Yeah, one seat to Eastern Europe, two seat to Western Europe, and two seat to Latin America, and this is the inequality that is being shown by them. So this is the third reason, and third reason of why these are the issue. The fourth reason is that there is a lack of consensus between them. For example, if they have to take they have to take a military action against any member nation, then they have to be power, and because of that veto power, the United Nations Security Council has rendered ineffective. Because in the past several times, each and every country, these five permanent members have misused their power, and and they have used their veto power to stop against any action. to stop taking any action against the state. So we are saying that because of this veto power, the United Nations Security Council that was formed to have international peace and security has been rendered ineffective, and there is lack of consensus on how this reform must be there. So some countries, some P5 members are saying that no, this must be reformed. Someone is saying no, this type of reform. It means that there's a lack of consensus between them. Now the third thing is that now the next important factor is that the whole purpose of this organization was formed to have a peace and security. But now the geopolitics, now the issues have been changed. Now what are the issues? The issue is the climate change. The climate change, when this was born in 1945, we know that this climate change was not an issue. But now climate change is a very important issue, and that is shaping the politics of the country. That is shaping the politics, internal politics of the country, and we should have to have more focus on this climate change. Second thing is that now this organization has to work on terrorism, because you know that how this terrorism has impacted the whole world. Just just to name a few, that each and every country has been affected by the terrorism. The big power USA has been affected by this. India has been affected by this. Sri Lanka, Afghanistan, and all approximately most of the nation has been affected by terrorism, which is not being countered by this organization. Third thing is that civil war. Civil war is happening. Example: civil war in Syria, civil war in yes, Ethiopia, Sudan, and now in Myanmar. Civil war is going on. Next important thing is that nuclear proliferation. Initial nuclear proliferation was not a target. What do you mean by proliferation? Proliferation means that stockpiling of nuclear fuel, and when each and every country have wants to stockpile nuclear fuel, then it has been deterrence over the peace and security. And these are some of the new issues that has not been countered effectively by this organization. So these are the reasons how why we should have reform. And now looking into the issues that why we should have reform. Now we should understand what are the impediments. Impediments means that some blocking factor. That what are it's why it is not been happening there. That what do you think that has stopped this from reform? So the first important impediment is that the criteria for having a reform is ambiguous. Someone's yes, we have also discussed in some part that yes, consensus part that the criteria on which we should have a reform is not comprehensive and not liked by every country. So to have a reform, each and every country must be satisfied. At least the P5 must be satisfied, but there is a there's lack of clarity or ambiguity. More effectively, we can say that is there is a lack of ambiguity amongst them. Next thing is that the consensus is not built among them, as we have discussed also there. The fourth important thing is that the third important thing is that the countries are opposing one another. In this factor, we find that G4, a group of four countries had been formed, and in these four countries are opposing each other. For example, India wants to have a permanent seat in United Nations Security Council, but India has been opposed by obviously Pakistan, and Japan has been opposed by China. That China does not want to have China does not want to enter Japan in the P5 nation, and Brazil has been opposed by Argentina, and the fourth important country is that let me check. Yes, Germany has been opposed by Italy. I think yes, Germany has been opposed by Italy. So a group of four countries are there who want to have a reform, but there are a group of four countries also which are opposing these nations. So we can say that the countries are opposing one another. Means some country wants to have a reform, another country are opposing this. So these are some of the issues that why this reform is not happening, and at least we should have reform. This is a very important. And looking into the perspective of 1992, the General Assembly has also already said that we must have reform. So these are the issues. I think I'm clear on this topic. means I'm able to get it to you that whether you are able to understand it or not, and we will make it better. We will make it better, and we will look into some of the very interesting topic and try to draw linkages with the syllabus. Uh, so thank you very much.